The Eastern Conference Finals reignites a classic 90s rivalry between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Hi everyone, this is Spectator Sports, where we cover sports from a spectator's point of view. I'm your host Sebastian Fonseca, and for this video we will be previewing the Eastern Conference Finals between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. Before we get into this video, please do us a massive favor. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to get clips from our past videos here on Spectator Sports, we got that for you here on YouTube and our various playlists, as well as on TikTok for now. And if you want to enjoy Spectator Sports from an audio perspective, we got that for you too. I'll link everything in the description, and let's get into previewing the Eastern Conference Finals. These two teams have had a long history, dating back to the 90s, where Reggie Miller went head-to-head with Patrick Ewing and Spike Lee. Last year provided us with a classic 7-game series, but remember the Knicks were missing key pieces to their lineup. Julius Randle was out for the entirety of the postseason. Mitchell Robinson was knocked out for the rest of the postseason in round 1. In game 1, OG Anunoby strained his hamstring and returned for briefly in game 7, but didn't look effective at all. In the middle of the series, Josh Hart suffers an abdominal strain and is hindered for the rest of the series. And to put a cherry on top, Jalen Brunson breaks his hand in game 7 and is ruled out. The Knicks lose in 7 games to the Indiana Pacers, who advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. This time the Knicks look vastly different as they head into this series against the Indiana Pacers. In the offseason, they traded for Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, and both came up huge last round against the Boston Celtics. Now, Mikal Bridges was really good defensively in games 1 and games 2, locking up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in both of those games on the game's final possession to give him a 2-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Now, the Knicks are going to need him to pick it up offensively as he's been struggling from outside, especially this postseason. And similarly, Karl-Anthony Towns has struggled from outside, but in game 6, he really was aggressive from the jump as he's been attacking the paint against the Boston Celtics, and he's also been really good throughout the entire postseason, crashing the glass at averaging 12.3 rebounds a game, as he's been the great complementary piece to Jalen Brunson. And in game 6 he was phenomenal with 20 points in part of a dominating Game 6 performance where they beat the Boston Celtics by 38 points. OG Anunoby has been a stellar two-way player guarding the likes of Jason Tatum, Cade Cunningham, and Jaylen Brown during this postseason campaign, while also on some nights looking like the Knicks' second best offensive player. He's always showing up in the clutch when the Knicks need him the most, and the Knicks are undefeated whenever OG scores more than 20 points in the postseason. Of course, Jalen Brunson is the engine to this Knicks offense, averaging 29 points a game and dishing out 8 assists per game. And in game 4, it was where the Knicks finally put it all together. Jalen Brunson was magnificent. He scored 39 points and dished out 12 assists while shooting 56% from the field. But the other Knicks players like OG, Mikal, and Cat combined for 66 points, and this was really where the Knicks put it all together. And throughout an entire regular season and postseason where the other Knicks stars not named Jalen Brunson have been inconsistent, but if that's what the Knicks can truly do when they're firing on all cylinders, they're going to be a tough out for the Pacers. New York has the better team defense, where they have a lot of length and versatility between Mitchell Robinson, who missed last year's series, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and even Miles McBride at times, as they're going to be deployed in various stints to bother either Tyrese Halliburton or Pascal Siakam, who are the Pacers' best offensive players. In those situations, that may force other Pacers players to step up if those two are struggling. And expect Bridges to guard Tyrese Halliburton, and then you'll see the former Raptors teammates guard each other in OG Anunoby on Pascal Siakam. You'll probably see the centers guard each other in Karl-Anthony Towns and Miles Turner. Miles is definitely the quicker of the two centers and probably a little bit better of a defensive player, especially from a shot blocking perspective. But Karl-Anthony Towns is also really big, and he's been dominating the glass this entire postseason, averaging 12.3 rebounds a game. But the Knicks can hide Jalen Brunson on Aaron Nesmith, as he's probably not the best offensive player for the Pacers. And Josh Hart, you can put him on Andrew Nembhard. I expect that to be kind of the matchups when at least the Knicks are guarding the Pacers defensively. Now, the Knicks can also exploit the Pacers' biggest weakness, which is rebounding. And like I was saying, Karl-Anthony Towns has been great on the boards, but the combination of him, Mitchell Robinson, and even Josh Hart at times is going to be too much for Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam to contend with. And remember, in round 2, Evan Mobley missed some time against the Pacers, and that was a really big factor in the rebounding category, as the Pacers really only had to really box out Jared Allen on the boards. Now, the Knicks are at full strength, and with their significant advantage in rebounding, this could give them extra possessions, and this could also neutralize the Pacers' ability to get out on the fast break after fielding a miss. Since last year's appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Pacers' chemistry has taken another step forward. One underestimated part of their development has been their focus on the defensive end. Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard have been stalwarts defensively on the perimeter. Couple that in with Miles Turner being a defensive anchor in the middle, and Pascal Siakam being a little bit of everything with his length. He provides the versatility to be not only the leading scorer at times for the Indiana Pacers, but also a key rebounder, weak side shot blocker, and also can be used as a great shooter, improving his shooting from deep to 39%. Like I said, Siakam is the Swiss Army knife. He has the ability to provide a combination of versatility, reliability, and also being this really key cog in the Rick Carlisle system. But just like Jalen Brunson is the engine to the Knicks offense, the Pacers' engine is Tyrese Haliburton. He's been doing a great job in dictating pace, setting up the Pacers' offense, and putting him in situations for success. And he's heard all the chatter about being overrated and has simply stepped up. With Haliburton, you have to pay attention to your assignments. A sliver of space, he will make you pay for either a cut to the basket for a layup or a step back jump shot in your face. He's been doing this while orchestrating the Pacers offense to precision, and it's been phenomenal to watch because he's been part of 2 huge comebacks for the Pacers against the Bucks in round 1. He's also been really good in the second round against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's been so good to see him play as a typical point guard, but he's been a little bit inconsistent scoring wise too. If the Pacers are going to have a shot in this series, they're going to have to get a lot more consistent scoring out of Tyrese Haliburton. For matchups when the Pacers are on defense, expect Andrew Nembhard to guard Jalen Brunson, as he has the lateral quickness to guard Jalen Brunson. And the centers I expect to guard each other, so that's no different. And same thing as before, the former Raptors players will shadow each other in OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. The switch up here, you could put Aaron Nesmith on Mikal Bridges, and then you could hide Haliburton on Josh Hart. But for my prediction, I think this is going to be a long series, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7. But I think this also could be a 2-2 situation heading into Game 5, where the winner of Game 5 wins it all, closing it out in Game 6. So I'll pick the New York Knicks to advance to the NBA Finals in 6 games.